Testing, testing. My sound is off. Hold on. Okay. Not sure what's going on. Give me 1 second. Wondering if my speakers are just not functioning. Yes. My laptop speakers are not on. It's not. I've been having all of these really weird technical issues with my equipment. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. So, guys, I asked what this conversation is going to be about. And what I heard is attempts to sabotage your progress. As I've said in so many different live streams leading up to this point, um, there's just been so much uptick in parasitic activity. So much, so much. I don't think you guys should be surprised that there's an attempt to, interfere with your progression. That's what parasitic things do, right? That's what they do. So, just shuffling one more deck and then we're going to get started because I'm kind of in a rush today. There are quite a few different things that I've been tracking, and these things indicate that this week is going to be huge for everybody. So let's see. Okay. All right. Yep. It's a lot. It's going to be okay, though. It's still going to be okay. Yeah. Okay. So here goes. The first card, Homecoming in reverse. Something does not want you to feel at home within yourself and your life. Something wants you to be in a space of questioning, a space of wondering, just a space of not really a good space, to be honest. So, what needs to happen? What do we need to do? We need to acknowledge the ways in which your ethos has been turned upside down, or something is attempting to turn it upside down, right? Like really attempting to. You need to get that right side up. The way you think, the way you see things, all of that is being greatly manipulated right now. For those who are ready to progress, for those who are in a space of wanting and needing to get to the next part, you're going to need to hold on tight. You're going to need to hold on tight to something, to whatever is properly anchored in the reality of what you're experiencing. I think there's going to be a lot of people whose perceptions are being very much skewed. Oh my God. I don't want to enter into that conversation. um okay, so there's been developments in the political world, an event. My face. Michael says your face. Okay, so there's some type of event that has taken place yesterday, and it's going to rile everything up. I was I was speaking with one of my besties, like, you really don't know who to trust. You don't, right? This event that involved a certain politician's ear. Okay, first and foremost, we'll lightly touch on this. I'm not into politics whatsoever. I don't support any of the parties. Yeah, I'm not into politics at all. I think it's just all hullabaloo, cockamaniacs, hullabaloo. Okay, so I dislike all of them. I do have one friend who I believe she was the mayor, or maybe is still the mayor. And then I believe she was going to be running for Congress or something like that. I believe in her. I believe in her integrity. I believe in her deeply. Okay. But everyone else can just kick rocks, in my opinion. So here's the thing. During that short convo, it was kind of just this thing of like, well, one of two things happened. One of two things happened. Um, Either there was a botched attempt, which to me, that's kind of like, you're only going to get one try. You're only going to get one try. Why would you hire someone who's not 100% track record? This is me thinking tactically. I would hire someone off record, off books, who has a 100% track record. Do you understand how ridiculously skilled you have to be to hit a target that small, and you're gonna miss that? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And then it's this thing of like, so is it an in-house situation where they hired someone so good that you just graze it? You graze it, right? Because I mean, you only gonna get one chance. You only gonna get one chance. Now, here's the thing. So some of you are gonna be like, "Oh, so he did it to himself." Well, hold on now. Hold on now. On a whole nother level of wickedness, because we're looking at this from just kind of like um the mindset of the general population who's trying to figure something out. If you look at something from an extremely tactical mindset, what would it be? Well, if I was the one running that op, I would totally, and I'm the actual opposition, I would totally hire someone to simply graze it, because then it would look like, oh, he did it to himself. And I would sacrifice the person that I hired, because why? Well, because then there's no one to talk. Which situation is it? I don't know, but I heard The Simpsons had an episode. I heard The Simpsons had an episode where they said that this would be the year that certain Oompa Loompas are going to fall. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Who did it? Who did it? Which side? Did he set himself up? Or did someone set him up to look like he set himself up? It's getting our mindset distracted and upside down. It is getting our mindset distracted and upside down. That is none of our concern. That is none of our concern. None. And, as I was saying in that conversation last night, um, people who are actually celebrating the potential demise of another human, you're part of the problem. Am I gonna sit here and be like, I'm gonna cry if um, the tea guy gets taken out? Probably not. I'd be like, well, that sucks. but I'm gonna go on with my day. Am I gonna be here saying, "Oh, I would feel so badly if the B guy gets taken down." I'm be like, "That sucks," and I'm gonna go on with my day. Focus on what you need to focus on. There's a lot of distractions that are being run right now. Like a lot of distractions being run right now. And that's to prevent the manifestation of the next part of your journey. What did I say? We're in a period of extreme manifestation right now. We are in a period of extreme manifestation right now. Now, I don't claim to know the protocol of presidential protection, but I would think that if there was an attempt on your life, you won't have the time to stand up and be like, um, you'd be immediately removed from public view. Knowing you're being played. And no, I'm not anti-Trump, nor am I a supporter. I don't think he gives a damn about us either. If you want my opinion on politics, my honest opinion is this. I believe what's happening is one of his old friends pissed him off. They tried to control him. He didn't want to be controlled. And so he bucked their system. And because he bucked their system, now they're all pissed because he knows all the fucking secrets. I think this is a friendship falling out and we're being played. He don't give a shit about us. He has too much money to give a shit about us. You can't have that amount of money. If you give a shit about the people, you won't have that amount of money. How much is he worth? I want to know. Okay, that's it for politics. Um so so let's right back to energy. How many of you with cycles have been having weird cycles? Menstrual cycles specifically. How many of you have been very late? How many of you have suddenly, if you're not late, you suddenly have another cycle starting and it's not supposed to start, it's too early? How many of you? How many of you are on your cycle right now? There's something that's happening with the energy that's causing our cycles to sync up. Now, this is just speculation on my end because I haven't asked anyone about anything about their cycles. But I am noticing, this is something that I've been aware of for quite some time, that when there are major attempts, energetic attempts, quite a few people's cycles will sync up, meaning either your cycle will delay itself or your cycle will restart itself. But quite a few people will have their cycle at the same time, and it's not really within the time frame you're supposed to have it. So now I'm very curious how many of us are experiencing that, right? How many of us? How many of us are having these dreams that are causing the different shifts in the composition of our hormones, the chemical composition of our brains, and those dreams that are causing the changes in our hormonal composition is the very thing that's causing the shifting in our menstrual cycles. I mean, you guys, it's not just some magical stuff. There's actual connection to physiological processes. If there is a sabotaging that's happening, your body is most likely responding to it. So, what's your body telling you? Not everyone's cycle is going to be affected. Not everyone is being accessed in order to harvest your energy to fuel another timeline erupting from this primary one that everything is collapsing into. Ooh, Mikey says too much info. Wait, wait. Wait. Do I have a live stream on Rumble? Let me see. I don't even know if it's successfully I don't know if it's successfully oh my goodness. I need to figure it out. I need to figure it out. Okay. So I'm not going to be figuring this out right now. I don't know how to work Rumble at all, but I will take the time to figure it out. We need to recenter ourselves and our focus. Okay. There's a need to dedicate yourself to something beyond what you can experience in a tangible way. You need to dedicate yourself to this process that you're in, because the process that you're in is the very thing that's going to ensure that this attempt, this grab at your power over yourself, your journey, your life, your understanding, your thoughts, your emotions will not be successful. There is a grab for your power. And you're seeing this play out in the political theater. It's a theater. It's a motherfucking theater. None of them at that level of operation cares about us. Please get that through your head. Please get that through your head. You do not reach that level of existence by caring for other people. They will not allow you to. But no, that's not true. I mean, yes, it is. Okay. Example, Bob Marley. I mean, he wasn't a saint. Let's not paint him in that way. He was a womanizer. Yes. He had his own issues. But he actually cared about the ascension. He actually was for the growth, development. He was for peace. What did they do to him? Someone tried to assassinate him. He died very young, actually. The people who are actually for us as a people, they're not allowed to continue to exist. They're not allowed. Now, these days, they've learned that if you do that, you create a martyr. It's much harder to stop the momentum of their work if they're martyred. So what do they do instead? There's quite a few people who are interested in the support and expansion of consciousness, our awareness of that consciousness. Those people are systematically silenced. Oh, it took me like, I think 6 months, maybe less than 6 months to get shadow banned on TikTok. So, yeah, welcome to the shadow ban list. I'm shadow banned on TikTok now too. Now they won't let me pin comments on my own live stream and just craziness, right? Because they don't want you talking about the things that need to be talked about. So, instead of trying to be this like social justice warrior or whatever the heck people call themselves now, truth seeker, or why don't you focus on your personal growth, at least during this period, so that everyone who sees you, everyone who comes across you, if you truly believe that it is within your destined path to help people reach a point of self-enlightenment, why don't you do so by example, right? Rather than preaching and all of that stuff and externalizing your journey, internalize it to the degree that it becomes your entirety. right? I don't mean internalize it, like hide it from everyone. I'm talking about dive so deep within yourself that anyone who looks at you can see you are different because you are walking the walk. You are talking the talk, walking the walk, doing everything. That your words are merely a reiteration of what your actions are already very clearly communicating to other people. This is a period where if you're faking it till you make it, you're going to be exposed. You're going to be exposed. People are increasing in their empathic abilities, in their discernment, in their clairs. Their clairs are waking up. You know what that means? The people who are faking things, who are presenting a caricature of themselves, who are only showcasing what they think will get them an audience, you're going to be called out. You're going to absolutely get called out. You're going to have your true face be shown. I only got one face. Whether you like it or not, I only got one face. It is what it is. I know not everyone's going to like it. That's perfectly okay with me. I think the way I think. I hold myself the way I hold myself. Yeah, that's that. You just get what you get with me. If I'm not feeling you, I'm not feeling you. Does that mean I'm going to be rude to you? Depends. What are you doing? Are you repeatedly asking me to put you in your place? Then you probably will experience rudeness from me. If you're just coexisting in the space with me and I just, we don't mesh, that's fine. I don't need to be rude to anybody. Right? So, why is this important for you guys to hear? Well, because you need to give yourself permission to be who you are at this point. These characters that you've been playing, it's getting harder and harder to maintain that character. It's getting harder and harder to stay quiet when everything inside you is screaming to speak up for yourself, for other people, for the world at large. I mean, it really don't matter to me. It doesn't. You speak whatever you need to speak. And if you're one of those people that feel you need to speak toxicity into being, you go right ahead. Just know you're probably going to cross someone like me who's going to put you in your fucking place. I'm not going to feel bad. Why? Because I'm done tiptoeing around the feelings of people who take pleasure in hurting other people. I'm not willing to. I'm just not willing to. I don't need to sacrifice my peace to maintain the fake peace that you're presenting to others. I will not sabotage my growth. And every time you put those people's preferences, they are preferences, they are not needs. They are preferences. They prefer you to remain silent. They prefer you to suffer within yourself because you should have said something for yourself, but you didn't. You should have done something for yourself, but you didn't. That is their preference. And I will say this without hesitation, without shame, without even blinking. Who gives a fuck what they prefer? I blinked. Damn it. I'm serious. Who cares what they prefer? You've spent far too much of your life tiptoeing around the reality, the truth that everyone knows. Whoever you're dealing with that's causing you to feel like you have to continue to adjust yourself, to modify yourself, to shrink yourself to fit into their nice, neat little boxes because they're so messy within themselves that everything outside of themselves needs to be nice and tidy. How has that helped you to grow? How has that furthered your peace? It hasn't. All it's done is further skewed the way you see yourself. I think you need to see yourself clearly at this point. Even in shadow, the mirror works. Ooh, the gravity of that. Mm. Even in shadow, the mirror still works. You can still see very, very clearly. If you bring yourself close enough to that mirror, you can still see clearly even in the dim light. You can see yourself. You can see the way you've been betraying yourself to accommodate the preferences of people who never actually truly cared about your well-being. Not everyone is in that type of environment. I know I'm not. But there are those who need to hear this because it's time for you to exit out of those environments that you've chained yourself to. It's time to actually truly liberate yourself from those spaces that don't give you permission to be who you are, to learn and grow and shift and change and continue to expand your awareness of what your proper place is within your life. Now is a time for you to no longer make other people the priority over yourself. This is not about encouraging you to step into a space of selfishness. Can we not just come to a common understanding that people who are so consumed by this fear that taking care of themselves will be viewed as selfish are the last people who would actually ever be selfish? I tried to be selfish at one point in my life. I tried. I couldn't fucking do it. I couldn't do it. Oh my god. I couldn't do it. It mm, I couldn't. I tried to convince myself that I needed to be selfish because, like, fucking sucks. Other people are selfish. Why do I always have to be the one that's giving and kind and patient? And then I tried and I just couldn't. I couldn't sustain that. Not even for one circumstance, to be honest. At another point in my life, I tried to convince myself that I wasn't gonna help anyone anymore. Like, "No, fuck that. Whatever I earn is for me and my family." Like, no. And you know what happened? God, I think it was, like, within a day or 2, maybe even less than that. It might have been the same freaking day. Um, I went to Walmart to go grocery shopping, and I passed this guy who was homeless, and then I cried for a week because I couldn't find him. I wanted to get him a tent. I wanted to make sure he had a tent and some snacks and some clean socks and a tarp because the weather was gonna be bad, and I cried for a week, and I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let it go that I did not get him those things when I saw him. I couldn't let it go for a week. I was literally crying for a week. Like, fucking weirdo, you shoulda just bought it for him. You knew you were gonna cry about it. Yeah, and then when I saw him there again a week later, I told him, "Please don't leave. Wait for me. I'm gonna get something for you." And I got him all the things that I wanted to get him, and I gave it to him, and then I was able to let it go. Because really, I'm just not a selfish person. I've never been. My entire life. It doesn't sit right with me. It makes me feel so uncomfortable. So then what needs to happen? You need to accept that you are who you are and that you give to the depth that you give. Stop making these excuses as to why other people's hurtful words are somehow true or applicable for you. And the people who can very easily be like, she's right. Other people don't know me. Like, very easily. They haven't even taken the time to assess themselves. I'm pretty sure the message is not for you. I'm pretty sure you need to dive deep within yourself to see yourself clearly because you haven't been wanting to see the ways in which your behaviors have been very, at the very least, inconvenient for other people, if not flat out troublesome. We have to at least be willing to look at ourselves and see the way we function, look at several moments from different periods of our lives to see the way we've conducted ourselves, get an average of how you conduct yourself across your lifespan. And you'll be able to see clearly who you are. Come into union with the parts of you that are willing to exist in such a way that supports a healthy recentering within your personal power. Your personal power has nothing to do with dominating other people. If you guys notice, I have no interest in telling other people what to do, how to live, or any of that. I'm more interested in like, you need to think for yourself. I have my own opinions, and that applies to my life. If my opinions are somehow applicable to you in your life, then see how to apply it, if it even applies. I don't know everything, I don't have all the answers, and I'm not supposed to. The only thing I can control is my life. I can't even control my children's life. I can guide, I can encourage, I can suggest, I can discourage um, unsavory behaviors. I can discourage that, but I can't control. It's not my place to control, to dictate, even to my children. You are responsible for you. And what needs to happen is you need to stop receiving this upside down guidance from everyone else. That includes me, you guys. I'm not like, okay, don't listen to anyone else. You listen to me because I'll never lie to you. Yeah, no, I won't lie to you. But y'all, I got my own issues. I don't always see clearly. I don't. Sometimes I misunderstand that I'm seeing a potentiality and I think it's a reality, like you're actually going through it. No, that's not accurate. It's just a potential, right? You need to listen to yourself. Ooh, see what I'm saying? Ooh, I love how the cards totally back me up on this because look, nothing is set in stone yet. Nothing is set in stone yet. See what I'm saying? That's not me saying these things, is not me trying to present myself as like, look how spiritual I am. I don't try and control you, because there are people who will present themselves as that, but they are covertly trying to control and manipulate in such a malignant way that you think their suggestions is your idea. Fucking detest people like that. Uh-uh. Don't fall for that. Okay. Adjustments are required. You need to adjust the way you see and feel about making decisions for yourself. Okay. If you really want some confirmation, maybe here's the thing. Maybe go pick any of my videos, go watch whatever you're drawn to, and then you'll get your confirmation there. And that's how you know this is coming from your soul, because your soul is telling you what to watch, right? You just have to be like, okay, show me. I need to see something to understand that I'm on the right path. Show me. And then just be open to that. Okay. Confidence is your key to success. Here's the thing, you don't always have to be confident. Sometimes the confidence comes after the action. Case in point, confidence is your key to success. You don't need a key if the door has never been locked. All you got to do is turn the doorknob and pull the door open. And that will give you the confidence to know, oh, I can go in. It's like you're looking for a key. You're looking for a key. Is the door even locked? Is the door locked? You're standing outside and you're freaking out because the door is closed. The door is closed. Oh my God, the door is closed and you don't have the key. Oh my God, you're locked outside. You don't have the key. The door is locked. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Can you just very quickly put your hand on the doorknob, twist it a little bit, jiggle it, just jiggle it. And does it turn? Yeah. Okay. Pull it. Does it open? Oh, it opens. Okay. Stop freaking out. Stop freaking out. Go through the door. Get through the process. Bring love into the situation by remaining calm and assessing what needs to be done. Woo. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm picking up on something. Communication is key. Communication is key. When something is clearly communicated to you about how to preserve a circumstance that you're trying to preserve, and then you don't listen to that, that's on you. That's on you. Okay. Time to give rather than to take. Um, I think you need to give your fears and your insecurities to soul. Stop trying to take on things that you can't quite handle on your own. Doesn't necessarily mean that you need another human being to handle it. Um, I mean, have you even tried to do something on your own before? I'm notorious for doing things on my own. Like notorious. 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 I am. I am. Things that I've never done before. I'm notorious for doing it on my own. Why? Well, how am I going to learn if I don't do it on my own? And if I don't have the courage, the social courage to go up to someone and ask them to help me, then I'm tasked to learn that on my own. But failure and refusal to learn and grow is never an option for me, ever. So the option is ask someone who knows or figure it out on your own. If I refuse to ask someone who knows because, again, social anxiety, then I'm going to need to learn on my own. You have information at your fingertips. You have access to unlimited information. You don't know how to do something? Okay, we'll Google it. Okay. You're better if someone shows you. Okay, go to YouTube and search it up. You're I'm notorious for doing this to my husband too. Um, Front loader washers acting funky. Okay, honey, you're gonna need to go YouTube something. You're gonna need to go on YouTube and find the make and model of that. And can you fix that, please? I just got a notification. Weirdness. You need to step out of your comfort zone. You're far too comfortable being disempowered in your own life. You need to get out of that comfort zone. Okay. Um, oh, someone's like, what? That doesn't even make sense. Well, sometimes you get so comfortable being uncomfortable, like, oh, this is just how life is, that you don't choose to create a different type of experience for yourself. You've gotten far too comfortable in your uncomfortable space. The camel boy, small steps asking for help in reverse, right? Goes back to the whole thing of not asking for help. If you're not going to ask for help, then you're tasked to figure it out on your own. That's not a bad thing. Every time I figure something out on my own, which is most of the time, if not all the time, every time I figure something out on my own, you know what ends up happening? I learn far more than what would have been taught to me had someone who was an expert in that topic taught me it, because I learn differently than most people. I learn much differently than most people. So when I allow myself to teach myself, I will dive so deep into a subject matter that it becomes ridiculous. And no one would have taught me that depth because I'm a beginner. So sometimes figuring things out on your own for yourself is quite possibly the most powerful thing. It comes with frustration. Don't get me wrong. It absolutely comes with frustration. But, I mean, I think maybe we need to keep pushing through. Maybe. Or maybe you need to take in consideration that this is the first time you're going to need to ask for help, right? Because for some of us, myself included, especially myself, hyper independence. You ever heard of that concept? Hyper independence, where you're ridiculously independent. You don't ever ask anyone for help because it's a trauma response. You've been so traumatized by the people in your life that you should have been able to trust, but couldn't because they let you down. They disappointed you. They abandoned you. They lied to you. They betrayed you, all of these different things, right? Or maybe you're one of the people who, whenever you let someone help you, you make it known you need help and you accept their help that they are offering. It's later held over your head. And now you owe them far more than they ever gave to you. You owe them. I've experienced that as well. So it's caused me to be very hyper independent, and finding that middle ground between the hyper independence and being independent in a healthy manner, asking for help. Like, I think that might be a healthy space for me that I'm entering into, where I can still ask for help when I know I need it. Um, but I can also function in an independent manner without triggering my hyper independence, because my hyper independence comes from extreme trauma. Extreme trauma. Mhm. Doesn't mean I'm broken. It means I'm very, very battle tested. I'm very capable of a lot of things because I never had anyone to lean on. It took me a very long time to even rely on my husband, who's always willing to help me. And he knows my trauma has been triggered if I ask him to help and then suddenly I'm like, "I'll do it myself." He'll be like, "You sit the fuck down. I'm doing it." It's a true story. You're triggering something from my trauma. If I'm over here like, "I'll do it myself," never mind. That's my trauma. That's not for him to have to fix or deal with, but it's something that he, to some degree, I don't know if he knows it consciously. I know it consciously. Like when I enter into that space, I know, okay, I'm regressing a little bit. Something is trying to sabotage your progress. And sometimes part of that attempt to sabotage your progress is encouraging you to backslide. But that's not a failure because, as I've said before, the arrow must first be pulled back in order to be launched forward, right? The web weaver, synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect. Every causation you choose, you will live through the effects of it. So if you choose a causation that gives someone else permission to sabotage your progression, you will live through the effects of that. Excuse me. The Lady of Lightning, surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift. Your entire life is about to shift. And everything that's happening right now is designed to facilitate that shifting. So the movement, whether it's backwards, forwards, side to side, up, down, internally, externally, that movement is designed to help you adjust and refine your positioning to best what? To best move through whatever it is you need to move through. There's not one specific dance style that needs to be danced during this beautiful period. You get to choose the way you move through this. The sun dancers, joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance. It's time to dance in the sun. It's time to dance through your journey. It's time to allow the movements. It's just time. There's going to be a lot of attempts to cause you to feel like you need to shut down, shrink, and all of this stuff. It's your choice if you do. I would highly recommend you pause before you decide. Sometimes we need to shrink ourselves, compact ourselves in order to make, in order to create the type of opportunity to bust through that membrane that's kept us confined. Other times, the best option is to allow the expansion of self, the expansion of your awareness of self, in order to fit through the weaving, this loose weaving that we think has kept us confined, but in reality, it's just a marker to show us where the other side begins. Either way, life is about to change, and it's up to you how you will allow it to change. I would sure hope that the ways in which you allow your life to change is beneficial for your growth, whether beneficial in an adversarial type of process or beneficial in a very calm, very soft, very loving way. It's completely up to you. It's completely up to you. I must get going. You guys, this period is an extreme period of shifting, changing, challenges, parasitic activity. I will not be going live later today for expedites. I'm in a frustrating ass fucking process of mitigating some shit. So I'm going to focus on mitigating that. And it's going to be what it's going to be. And what is it going to be? What I choose for it to be. Because anything short of what I choose is unacceptable to me at this point in my journey. Anything short of what you choose is unacceptable. So keep going until you create the circumstance you know is best for you. You have that type of power and authority. Start using it responsibly for yourself. Give this video a thumbs up, and then I'll see you guys again.